Hi everybody and welcome to Cut the Kibble. Today I want to talk about rice. I do online consults to help people learn how to home cook for their dog. And the number one thing that I'm hearing from people is how frustrating it is to learn what is the right way to home cook for your dog. And I get it. I get bored sometimes because there's nothing on TV and I don't get a lot of stations here. So I go on YouTube and I type in homemade dog food. I did that last night and I'm not exaggerating. 100% of all the videos I watch, I probably watched 25. That's how bored I was last night. They all use rice. And rice is like the number one ingredient in percentage in the recipe. And then you'll see these, the titles, they grab you, vet approved recipe, and it has a ton of rice. There was even a vet on YouTube. It's like, oh, let me look at her recipe. And she used a boatload of rice. Look, if there's one thing you're gonna learn today is please do not use rice in the recipe for your dog. And let me tell you why. First of all, it's not a species appropriate food. Dogs in the wild, they didn't go out and eat rice. They went out and they ate a whole animal. They ate the organs. They ate fruit, a little vegetables and blueberries. They've been shown how even now the wild wolves are eating blueberries. But they don't eat rice and they don't eat grains. But what is really, really bad about rice? Rice is very high in arsenic, okay? What is arsenic? Arsenic is a heavy metal and it's been known to cause cancer, diabetes, neurological problems with humans. And for dogs, there aren't many studies, but there was a study done that it causes kidney problems. And how many dogs do you hear about that have kidney disease? Could it be from the rice? You look at all the kibble bags, turn it over, and look at the first 5 ingredients, because that's all they have. The rest is just chemicals. And rice is always there, okay? It has arsenic in it. So why are even people who make homemade food, why are they using rice? Because it's a filler. It makes the food last longer and it's cheaper. I never use rice. I don't use any grains. And wait to the end of this video and I'll tell you what I would recommend using if you wanted to make your food go longer and lower your costs. But the way rice is grown, it's grown in these, I'm not going to explain it very good, but it's grown in these rice fields. And it has contaminated water in it, but it's also, the soil is so polluted over the years with all the pollutants and chemicals and pesticides that have gone into the soil. And that is what is causing the arsenic. And there's studies showing now that with climate change, the higher the temperature is going to cause more arsenic in the soil. So why would you want to use rice? They're even saying, babies, I'm 60 years old, and when I had kids, the first food you would want to give a baby was rice cereal. They're saying don't do that anymore. Do bananas and do avocados, but don't do rice. So, I guess if you want to do rice, you look so cute right now. You can do it every now and then, but you should not be doing it every day. Please, please don't do it. There was a study at the University of Helsinki recently, and they did a test with dogs that were given a diet where rice was one of the first 5 ingredients and other dogs did not have rice. And then they did a hair test and they showed that the dogs that were giving the diet with rice had a 3.5 times more arsenic in their body. So, you know, a lot of these studies for humans are for humans. And how much does a human weigh? Well, I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh, but this little dog here weighs 14 pounds, okay? So it's little. So the amount of arsenic from rice that's going into this little body opposed to a human is just going to be catastrophic if you keep on doing it over and over again. Now, if you want to do rice, the safest rice you can get is from California. And brown rice is worse than white rice because of the hole on the outside. So if you want to home cook for your dog and you want to stretch the food, what I would suggest adding would be a non-GMO oats or organic pinto beans or quinoa. Your beans need to be organic because in the United States, beans are sprayed with glyphosate, and the same with the oats. They need to be non-GMO organic. I rarely now put any of the oats or the beans. Like I'm going to do beans tomorrow with my pork roast, but it's all in a minimal rotation, and I never do rice. So when you look at these YouTube videos, even if it's from a vet, you really need to question it. You need to do your own research. If you want to know a great site to look at, it's the EWG.org, Environmental Working Group. It's a nonprofit organization here in the United States that looks at water, which has arsenic in it. I've talked about how you need to have like a reverse osmosis water filter for you and for your dog. Anyway, it looks at water, chemicals and toxins and cleaning products, etc. So look that up and do your own research. Just don't go on YouTube, except for my channel, I Cut the Kibble, and see a vet-approved recipe and do that. That's loaded not only with rice, but high starchy vegetables such as potatoes and sweet potatoes and filled with beans and peas. All of that is no good. Your recipe, in my opinion, should be 60% protein. That should come from grass-fed beef if you can find it, and you should be rotating your proteins. Rotate everything. You don't want to give your dog the same thing day after day. All right, that's it for us today. Oh, Miss Bella, she's getting a little feisty. Say goodbye.